Hello guys, and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today we are doing another video in my Juvia's Place palette series using the Warrior 2, which is this gorgeous fully matte palette. So let's do this. I'm starting off like I always do with just a bone cream matte shade. Well, all these shades are matte, but this one in particular is called Zaz, and it's just a really simple shade just to throw down to get the look started. And then with Kana, which is like a really perfect, cool toned, really light brown. I love this shade. It's a perfect transition shade, which is what I'm using it for. I'm building it up like quite a bit, so I'm packing on a good amount of pigment, but it's just a really simple brown, and I'm just blowing that out all over the crease, like all over the place. And then with Jamada, which is like kind of a wine berry red brown brick kind of color. It's a lot of different colors, but it's super pretty, and I love these kinds of like maroon shades, especially in like the fall and winter. I just think they're so pretty. So I'm just kind of like stamping it on the outer like third of my lid, and then bringing it up into the crease and dragging it kind of far into the inner corner, not all the way, but pretty much just dragging whatever's left on my brush all the way from the outer corner inwards. And I'm definitely packing this on pretty heavy. I definitely want this color to stand out. So then, geez, Walzana, I don't know if that's how you say that, but this is a really gorgeous, cool toned gray. It's like not quite a black, and it's perfect for this look because it kind of blends in with that wine shade and just makes it look really unique and different. So I'm trying to do kind of like a halo eye, so I'm packing it on the outer third and then the inner third, and then kind of dragging it up to connect it through the crease. I'm trying to keep this shade like fairly concentrated just right in the fold of the crease because I don't want to cover up that whole red shade. So I'm kind of doing it fairly lightly. This isn't like the most pigmented shade ever, so it works out perfectly for this because as you can see upon first application, it's pretty sheer. So you can build it up, or you can just kind of use it as a light wash, which is what I like about it. And since we did want to do like a halo cut crease kind of thing, I'm like really packing it on just so that the crease is pigmented enough that when we put the like spotlight shade in there, you're gonna really be able to see the definition between that shade and the crease, if that makes sense. So then I'm dipping back into that wine reddish shade and blending it back over top, just so that we can still make sure that we have that color peeking through, and it kind of makes like a cool custom color, I guess, because we're mixing it right over top of that gray shade, which it's almost like a purpley shade at this point, which are just like grayish purples are my favorite. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to this combination. But I then grabbed my e.l.f. Molten Liquid Shadow in the shade Rose Gold, which is a really nice like liquid cream shadow. It's very pigmented, as you can see. It's not like a glitter. It's very shimmery, but it's not like a glitter like the Stila ones. It's like a very pigmented opaque shade, but very shimmery. So I'm just using the applicator just to like dab that all over the blank space that we left on our lid, and I'm going all the way from the lash line up to the crease. And then I'm grabbing, I think this shade, I forgot the name of this shade. Of course I didn't show it, I'm no good at that. But this is the black shade in the palette, and I'm using that just very lightly, like I barely dipped my brush in it. And I'm just using that to really deepen the outer portion of the eye and just drag it through the crease, again, just to really define the crease. I barely put any of this on the inner third. I like literally just patted what was left on my brush just to help the edges of that rose gold liquid shadow blend with the other two sides. So as you can see, I'm kind of just like dabbing it on the end where the black meets the spotlight shade, just to kind of make sure it all blends really seamlessly. And then I'm going back into that original cream bone shade, and I'm using that just to highlight my brow bone and my inner corner. I used just this matte color only. I kept my highlight very matte for this look just because the majority of this look is matte other than the middle shade. But this is a fully matte palette, so keep in mind if you want any shimmer, you do have to reach elsewhere. And then, as always, I'm tightlining with my L'Oreal Kajal eyeliner in just my upper part of my lash line, and then curling my lashes and using my CoverGirl Plumpify mascara, which I definitely always use a bunch of coats of this. This is not my favorite mascara, but I'm using that on the upper lash line. And y'all know I'm not like a huge lower lash line person, but I just grabbed that Jamada shade, the wine red that we've been using, and I just grabbed it on a pencil brush and just drug it from like the outer part of my lower lash line, just like halfway in. And that's the only color I used. I think that it added a lot to the look, but it wasn't like too heavy. And this is the final look. I have like, I think my eyes watered on my left eye there. You can kind of see, so I had to wipe that away. It looked a little weird. But this is the final look and I loved it. It's super fun and super easy, and this palette is amazing. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!